Well, the Canterbury club, they predicted a sellout crowd. We can't say we weren't warned because it is a capacity crowd at the Homebush Stadium to see the home side, the Bulldogs, take on their arch rivals and neighbouring club Parramatta. Capacity crowd here, pretty much unknown, but they say around 22,000. It was used for the baseball during the Olympics last year, and they weren't able to fill it, but they've done it tonight for rugby league. As Parramatta, the competition leaders, take the field with Jason Taylor in the run-on side. Kalis, the captain. Many said that Taylor would be protected from the first 20 minutes. Not so. Team 1 versus Team 2. Butner, Drew played important roles when we saw a crowd of 23,000 watch Parramatta and the Dragons last weekend. Roar goes up. Sea of blue and white flags wave across this showground as the Dogs are about to come from the kennel. There's been no more successful club making finals, winning grand finals, than the Canterbury Bulldogs since 1980. The Dog Pound. Let's hope this match is received and treated with the respect that it should be, unlike their first round encounter at 20 points all. Dogs, minus Willie Mason, suspended. Other than that, they're pretty much at full strength. Big match coming up for the Sixers. The Nasta and Butner. Now the Cards.
Yeah, the Bulldogs. Luke Patton's the fullback. El Masri and Shane Martini on the wings. Vangana and Talau on the centres. Braith and Nasta, a superstar in the making. He's the 5'8". Darryl Trindle playing good footy. He's the half. Smith, Reardon, Feeney comes in to replace Willie Mason. That's the back row. Britton, Price, the props. Colum out of the hooker. Interchange of Hughes, Scott, Sherwin and Adam Peake, coached by Steve Folks.
Parramatta just one change to the 17 that defeated the Dragons last weekend. Brett Hodgson is the fullback. Donald and Moody the wingers. Lyon, Bielecki the centre pairing. Butner and Taylor the halves. Daniel Wagon locks the scrum. The Hindmarsh brothers in the second row. Behind Nathan Kalis, who is the captain. Brad Drew, Michael Vella. On the bench, Irvine, Ryan. Solomona comes in for Jason Kalis. Robinson, coached by Brian.
Bill Harrigan, the #1 referee in charge of the #1 game. A game that probably is not necessarily about the 2 points, but one of them will carry a psychological advantage into the semi-finals 4 weeks away. First tackle of the game, and Stephen Price has put down 20 out from his own line. Darren Britt was under a cloud, and so too was the dummy half, Craig Pollamount. Feeney came into the side with Willie Mason out. Dummy half knock on from Pollamount. A smirk across the face of Bill Harrigan.
He's not happy, Craig, here. He doesn't believe he knocked on, but you can see from that replay, no doubt the ball left the hand. An early opportunity here for the Blue and Golds. And again, Brad Drew will be very important. Brett Hodgson feeding the scrum. Hodgson feeding the scrum, and we've got Nathan Hindmarsh playing in behind the scrum, about to take the football. Didn't they? They're on the blinded line.
So, as has been the case with Parramatta, this particular side right through the year, they're versatile. They'll come up all over the place. And here's Michael Vella now taking it inside the 30-metre line. Parramatta getting the first real chance to attack. Kalis just beyond the 20-metre point. Drew. Left they go through Taylor, then Butner. Lovely little pass up for Nathan Hindmarsh. But there's no progress made. Laterally, yes. Butner now. His kick challenges the Dogs. Parramatta didn't contest it, and Shane Martini plays it back on his own 20-metre line.
And you'd have to say that was a pretty ordinary set of 6 there from the Eels. No mistakes, but they really didn't ask many questions of the opposition defence. Even the kick at the end, no pressure whatsoever.
Chilau. Parramatta. Now Britt. Oh, that's a jolting tackle. I think it was Steve Reardon. Yes, it was. And here's Britt again. Up and beyond the halfway line. Australian front row forward, bound for England next year. And Nasta sending it down on the second bounce. It arrives at Hodgson. And Hodgson is brought to an end on his own 20-metre line. Now they take him back. Strong defence from the Dogs, from Nasta and Martini. Martini playing on the wing in jumper number 5. They've got their number 1 centres in the game tonight, Vanganar and Talau.
Bulldogs defence here, they have Luke Patton standing as shallow as any fullback I've ever seen early in the tackle count. He was 3 or 4 metres. Now he's dropping back. I'd be surprised if the Eels might be tempted to kick early in the tackle count if that continues.
There's Hindmarsh. Down on tackle number 5. 10 metres from halfway. And Drew's kick down into open space. Long run across the park for Patton. Accelerates back beyond the 10-metre line. And put down by Michael Butner. Trindle for Martini. Running into Wagon and Vella. 20-metre line. Dogs end of the ground. El Masri. 20 all in the first round was the final score. Canterbury supporters calling for a penalty. Now, Vanganar down the right side. Taken down by the Parramatta winger Jason Moody. But the Dogs attack. They get a penalty. 20 metres out. 10 metres in.
Yeah, great work there by the Bulldogs. They couldn't get through the Eels' defence, so they went around it. Great ball from Darren Smith to a speed merchant in Vanganar. Plenty of open space there. Right down the touchline they went. And some good cover defence. Plenty of chases there were too. Daryl Trindle barking some orders there. He'll put it out. We're only about 12 metres out now.
Sending Stephen Price to within about 3 metres of the line. Danger here for the Eels. Darren Britt. And you can see 4 and 5 of the Eels involved in stopping the front rower. Trindle, a grubbing kick. Donald will be forced in goal. A line dropout. We'll see it come back. Bulldogs, for another wave from the Bulldogs.
They've had a lot of success in the recent weeks with that short kick. That's the ball that Paul was talking about. A wonderful cutout pass. Got outside Jason Moody. That's the man they like to see in open spaces, Nigel Vanganar. What a buy he's been for them. Tremendous tackle by Jason Moody coming back in cover. And on the third tackle after declining a kick at goal, this was a kick from Trindle.
So the line dropout sees Price going back. 30 metres out from the line. 20 metres in from this western side of the ground. Darren Brett running at Michael Butner and Michael Vella. They put him down, but he did make a dent in them. Now Trindle. Darren Smith playing his 250th first grade game tonight. 10 metres out, 15 in from touch eastern side. Running towards the northern end. Trindle for Anasta. Anasta back for Patton. Into a Shepherd on a couple of occasions. Trindle goes back through the traffic. And Trindle will play the ball without any forward motion made by the Dogs. And Nasta is tackled on 5. They are testing the best defence in the league. The grubbing kick. And Jamie Lyon snatched it, then ran it, and made a wonderful contribution out to the 20-metre line.
Yeah, great pick up and run there by Jamie Lyon. Took the pressure right off the Parramatta side. Now Hindmarsh goes through.
Hindmarsh is in the clear. Patton is after him. Hindmarsh has got plenty of pace. He's going to make it. Hindmarsh nails it for Parramatta. First try big second rower, the World Cup second rower, Nathan Hindmarsh, has run 70 metres.
Which is what he did last week against the Dragons out of dummy half. This occasion, a lovely ball. Luke Patton, as I said earlier, way up in the defensive line, and he's got good speed for a big man. Patton making little impression on him over the journey. And, well, what a change in fortune there. All the pressure was the one way. Straight away, Daniel Wagon's pass was able to attract Darren Smith into opening up the gap, and Nathan Hindmarsh has done the rest.
Yeah, it was oh so simple, wasn't it? The Bulldogs' defence was light out wide, and a lovely ball from Daniel Wagon. Used to seeing Daniel Wagon, of course, just run the football, but he did play 5'8" for Queensland. He's a very handy player, whether playing lock or 5'8". Lovely ball to put Nathan Hindmarsh through. Look at the speed of the man. Brilliant, great stuff there. Good start for the Eels.
Don't undervalue the work done by Jamie Lyon, the previous player as well. Right on his line, read it beautifully, picked up 20 metres, got them going forward. And that gave them an opportunity to score that try. Again, the Eels score first. It's the 17th time this year they've done so.
Taylor, 20 metres in and 16 metres out. Kicking in towards the Sinclair stand. Taylor looking for 6-0, and he's made it that scoreline. Parramatta with a converted try. 9 minutes gone. They lead 6-0 at the showgrounds. From our viewers back across the Nine Network, this is one of the big ones of the year. Appropriately labelled by one of the journos as the showdown at the showground. I don't know that it's quite the showdown that these two clubs will be looking for. They will hope that will be on a Sunday night at the end of September. But as I said earlier, one of them will gain a psychological advantage out of a big victory here.
I heard Steve Folkes interviewed during the week. He was saying the psychological advantage would be profound if it was quite a scoreline in favour of one side. Close match, now they'll both expect to be there. A landslide, that might be on their minds in a month's time as El Masri comes back. It's up the bouncing ball, the chase is good once again.
20-metre line, zone into the park for Hazem El Masri. Both Canterbury and Parramatta won the premiership 4 times during the 80s. Canterbury have gone on and won it again in the 90s in 1995. Are we looking at another competition that will see these two clubs do battle on grand final night? As Parramatta drives it down into the northeastern corner, and Hodgson looks for Moody and then doesn't chance the pass. Taylor for Moody, and the former Newcastle winger. Tackle inside 20, Drew using Kalis. Kalis is channeling his run back in behind the play the ball, hoping there might be a hole there. Now the other Hindmarsh, Ian. Great run by his brother. 70 metres off a wonderful pass from Daniel Wagon. Now here's Brad Drew. Shocking pass, good hands, Wagon again. Just out from his own 40-metre line, so this is the last, and Taylor's outside the 40 as he kicks. But he finds the line over on the far side of the ground. Taylor was subjected to heavy treatment in the opening round against Canterbury at the advice of Ricky Stewart, who's now one of the trainers with Canterbury, and that was the reason many thought that Taylor would not be in the run on side here tonight. Many thought that they would start with Drew at half and Irvine at number 9.
Yeah, it's testimony to the faith that Coach Brian Smith has in Jason Taylor. He's having his best year for a long, long time. And look, he's a wily old player. He's a veteran. He knows how to avoid the trouble at this stage of his career and still be a force out there with the football in his hands.
And I think one of the reasons that he's probably a little bit harder to mark these days than he was even at the start of this year is that he's running more with the football. Once upon a time he was so predictable, you knew he would pass or he would kick. Now he does challenge the line a little bit. So Lost ball. Trindle finding Britt. It all went backwards. Down on the Dogs' 40-metre line. Parramatta. Reardon's got Darren Smith with him. Played, of course, with the Broncos in that 250 as well as the Dogs. And Nasta tries to promote for Martini, then he waits for the ball to come back to him, then gives it to Trindle. Trindle away for Parramatta. He leaves the Parramatta 40-metre line behind him. He's tackled 35 out. And again the crowd roar. They want some penalties. Harrigan so far has not been refereed by the crowd. Trindle, inside ball, Patton. Trindle losing it back. They're losing ground. Now he puts a kick in. Came off a Parramatta player. And Parramatta's offside.
Yeah, despite the protesting from the Bulldogs, as we're hearing.
I want to tell you this one first. I want to tell you this one first. 10 metres. He's inside the 10-metre circle where it's being kicked, so he's offside. Got to be outside the 10-metre circle. Since the day he died.
How long's that been around, Darren Britt said? For eternity. Since day one, 1908.
The Bulldogs are claiming that the Parramatta player played at it, and that puts everybody on side, but that's not the case. The man was also always within 10 metres. That's why he was penalised. Buettner steps, and again.
1-1 the penalty. The penalty count. Hindmarch again! Violecki supporting. 10 metres from the line. Southeastern corner. Taylor. Vella. Wagon. Taylor. Kalis. Catch and pass. Jamie Lyon. Scott Donald dropped it. Certain try. Bombed by Parramatta.
Unlucky there for Parramatta. Look at the hands of these players. It's just fantastic. Pick up on the run by Lyon. Draw and pass, and Donald catches. He's in the corner. Patton couldn't have stopped him. He's had a good run, Donald. Unfortunate for him there. He's not the first winger to drop a pass with the line wide open. He won't be the last.
14.5 gone. 6-0 the Eels.
This big home crowd, there are a few danger signs. Fence is starting to open up a little bit, and you do not expect that of the Bulldogs in the opening 20 minutes of a match. Nathan Hindmarch is storming 15 minutes.
Darren Smith then taking a run himself. 22 metres out from his own line. State of origin veteran. Reardon. Now they're 35 out and they get a penalty.
Played a very long advantage there, Bill Harrigan. He was telling especially David Bielecki out wide to get back on side. You see 2 or 3 players in front of him. Played the advantage. There was none for the Bulldogs.
It's the halfway line. Long ball for Anasta. They're prepared to go wide on the first play. As quickly as they could out to Shane Martini. He's in a wrestling match on the opposite side of the ground now. Feeney, easily identified by that white rim on the headgear that we've learned about. Parramatta for Talau. 35 metres, in fact 25 metres out from the Parramatta line as Darren Britt surges ahead. Ball goes to ground and Parramatta have got it. There doesn't seem to be any complaint from Darren Britt that it was stripped.
And he's been so strong for them in the opening 20 minutes, Darren Britt. That's about the 8th time he's taken the football up. He's just bleeding from a cut on the nose there. Looking around for support, there was none.
Nathan Hindmarch again, menacing the Bulldogs. Kalis. Just inside the 40-metre line from Drew to Vella to Wagon. And on the 5th, they will play the ball back to Taylor's boot. And Taylor lands it down between Shane Martini and Luke Patton. Ball just bubbling around outside the Dogs line. And Martini provides a 20-metre run back to the other side of the ground diagonally. Great atmosphere. Ground sold out. First time in a premiership in Sydney, a minor premiership game has been pre-sold. And that's a wonderful boost for rugby league following the 23,000 last weekend at Parramatta Stadium. Parramatta put down hard. Ian Hindmarsh and Jamie Lyon. Raith Anasta's kick is well judged. Hodgson thought about it and then let it go into touch. 15 out. Parramatta on the end of a very hard tackle from Ian Hindmarsh and Jamie Lyon. So the scrum going down near the western touchline. Andrew sitting just there, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Yes, Andrew.
And Ray, I'm sure Steve Folkes is learning plenty about his side tonight. And to be honest, I don't think he'd be too displeased after 18 minutes at 6-0 down. It really is a step up in intensity tonight. They haven't played in an atmosphere like this before tonight this season. Atmosphere generated not just by the crowd, but by the intensity that Parramatta have approached this contest.
Hodgson again. Did he work that scrum? I fancy that he did.
He did, yeah. It's trying to work out why he is playing at halfback from scrums, and Jason Taylor's out to 5'8", and Nathan Hindmarsh is in sort of fullback position, getting involved.
One of the worries about all of that is that twice now in scrums fed by Hodgson, the Dogs have gone very close to winning a scrum against the feed. Drew is a dummy half for Ian Hindmarsh. Now for Kalis. And Kalis is almost up to the halfway line. It is a weekend of tightrope walking for many clubs. The kick and the regather by the Dogs had to be made. Now there's a bit of a punch-up. Parramatta and Butner. A chopping left hand from Parramatta. El Masri. Nothing in it.
He was just looking for a quick play the ball, Craig Parramatta. Good chase from Michael Butner on a planned kick from Taylor as Darren Smith again a cut-out pass to Jamie Feeney on the fringe.
6-0 then. 20 minutes gone. Parramatta leading. Stephen Price. Chant in the background, incessant. Bulldogs. Trindle. And lands it over the sideline at the 10-metre line.
Yeah, it's not bad tactics. The Bulldogs just trying to slow things down a bit, try and work out a way to get through or around this Parramatta defence. It's a great line they've got. They've had it for a long, long time now. The last 16, 18 weeks. Great defence by the Eels. And it is hard to break through.
Looking at their differential, Paul, it's up to an extraordinary 394 coming into this game. And in the last 20 years, 14 teams with the best differential have gone on to win the premiership, so it stands them in very good stead.
Yes, Ray, there might be plenty of people watching tonight, the publicity of this game, who don't really understand what about the rugby league. The differential is the difference between how many points they've scored and how many they've allowed. That's a huge margin. They're 4 weeks out from playoffs.
There's the points for and against. They look at Parramatta, 732-4. This kick fielded back on his own 10-metre line by Patton, former Dragon. He's made a very good fist of the #1 job with the Dogs. Willie Talau, Kiwi international. And marking up, of course, with Nigel Vangana against another Kiwi international in David Bialecki, who was one of their better players, I thought, over in New Zealand this year at Wellington. Here's Britt on the halfway line. And Kalis, leg rope set. Robinson is on for Parramatta. Is it Robinson or Andrew Ryan? It's Andrew Ryan. And also Daniel Irvine is out there now. There's the bench with Drew back there. Trindle again just basically steers this ball into the in goal. The chase on the kick probably wasn't as intense as Steve Folkes would have liked. Hodgson got back easily. That is Violecki in jumper number 4. Moody. Irvine.
Brian's been following the same formula with his hookers. Normally, Brad Drew off after about the first 20 minutes, and that's the case tonight as Irvine into the action. That's a wonderful tackle from Martini. Not a good ball from Taylor. Put plenty of pressure on line. Charge down. That'll be 6 again. That's the danger of Stephen Price. So a couple of charge downs in the first round draw.
Hodgson's exploded. Hodgson gets it away. Nathan Kalis gets it away. Irvine. Ryan Taylor just got under Darren Britt. 30 metres out. Penalty goes to Parramatta. Right in front, holding down.
Yeah, this comes on the back of that Brett Hodgson break. There'd been a charge down. The Bulldogs' defence hadn't reset early in the tackle count and just straight through. Darren Britt couldn't get there. But look at the speed of the man. It's just fantastic. Luke Patton did well to get there in the end. He was back at fullback. A nice step from Hodgson. He read it well, Patton, and then the support came. Great work by Kalis, the big prop in support. And then on the end of it was Irvine. It fell down there. My word, there are some danger signs out there for the Bulldogs. And Trindle comes in to make the second tackle. And, well, I don't know there's much in that.
So just in that last passage of play, you saw again to the fore the pressure that they want to apply to Taylor. Stewart played against Taylor often, and it would very much be drummed home to them by him that that's the way to try and shut Parramatta down, shut down Taylor.
As Jason was setting up this kick, first interchange for the Bulldogs, Steve Reardon has left the field. Glenn Hughes in jersey 15 for the action as Taylor looks to extend the lead to 8.
It. It's straight on line. Not high, not pretty, but it got 2 points and Parramatta extend their lead. It is 8-0 after 25 minutes.
Tonight, on the eve of his Australian tour, England's
8-0 in favour of Parramatta. 4 points from Taylor's boot. The other 4 from a runaway try by Nathan Hindmarsh early came at the 9th minute. Andrew Ryan now plays it over on the eastern side of the ground. Peter mentioned that this is the home ground for the Dogs. For those of you not all that conversant with Sydney, Solomona gets instructions. This ground is based more towards Parramatta than it is towards Canterbury, really. As Taylor sends it down for El Masri to bring it back in spectacular fashion. Leaking up with his fullback. Newton makes the tackle.
And they were obviously expecting a 40-20 attempt from Jason Taylor. Well, Masri was back early in the count as Talau almost gets through 43 out from his line. Glenn Hughes, his first touch tonight.
Parramatta sending them down the blindside corridor for Talau inside the Parramatta 40-metre line. Then for Trindle. Now for Britt. 26th minute of the game, about to go by. 48-metre gain on the 5th tackle. They kick. No. Yes, they do. And Trindle rubbers it down for Hodgson to come out to the 10-metre line. Tidied up by Anasta. Donald, who could have been across the line for Parramatta's second try. Unfortunate for him, Nathan Hindmarsh. That is the 20-metre line. Daniel Wagon, who provided that lovely pass. It sent Nathan Hindmarsh on that 70-metre sprint. Kalis. front of his own uprights. Losing his footing. Levine clamping him back on the 20-metre line, and then even with a mile of time to get it right, Michael Buettner got it wrong, and Harrigan penalises for not standing direct in front of the man playing the ball. Pretty hard to tell from that. One thing we've come to learn about Harrigan, though, is he seems to pride himself on giving as few penalties as possible. They're very hard to come by. Price. The Dogs fans start to let them know we want some points. Feeney. There it is. Penalty. Raked out. Now will they take the kick this time?
Well, they're talking about it. Feeney on the burst. Little tip on movement. 3 passes in a row. Short balls there. And they're going to take the shot at goal.
Just amazing the amount of time that it takes as we watch the replay of the incident. The amount of time it takes, the indecision with the people out on the paddock. They look to the bench for instruction.
Well, I think the fact they haven't been down here that often, they've only been down here the once, and from a Darryl Trindle kick, Parramatta virtually scored a couple of tackles later. They were in the length of the field, but they probably wanted some time down here. On this occasion, though, as Emil Masri lines it up, it's only, what, 22 metres out and 5 metres to the right of the post.
Sideline with Andrew.
Well, I'll tell you something, Ray, about the Bulldogs bench. They've got great mileage out of them this year, great impact, and they certainly need it tonight. When you look at it, they just made their second interchange for the night with Dennis Scott coming on for Darren Britt. You can see Darren on the bench there, but they really need their bench to line up tonight. They're probably not as potent as looking as they have been at different stages of the year, but big pressure on Hughes, Scott, Sherwin and Peake tonight.
You see Brent Sherwin sitting the far side of Darren Britt. It'll be interesting to see how Steve Folkes uses him tonight. Some matches this year he hasn't come on for until the last 20 minutes. Just wondering whether they'll have that luxury this evening.
The other fellow that's not there tonight is Bustling Barry. Where's he gotten to?
It's injured, right? Not injured.
Okay, so here's Hazem from 20 in and 23 out. Got it. Lovely. First points on the board for the Dogs. They're trailing by 6. 11 minutes of the first half to go.
9:30 Saturday.
McDougall will go on the...
White World of Sports tonight, bringing you the pictures of Parramatta and Canterbury in the NRL from the Homebush Showground Stadium, which is packed to capacity. Not a big ground, but it was pre-sold. First time ever in Sydney in a minor premiership game. So that's a wonderful achievement. The ball is played by Scott, and Hughes goes down the short side.
The fans haven't forgotten the history of these two clubs going back for the last 20 years. The battle for supremacy in the 80s, sharing Belmore Oval. Nobody enjoyed that. And in recent years, the defection of the Big Four from Canterbury to Parramatta, Dimmick, Pay, McCracken, Smith, Jason Smith.
Yeah.
And then that black day in 1998, Darryl Halligan's conversion from the sideline to finish that miracle comeback. A lot of feeling between the two clubs. That's why we see 22,000 here tonight cheering both sides on.
So Parramatta trying to spread it, and Bialecki eventually got outside the 20-metre line as he got outside his opposing player. Moody. Tackle on the 30-metre line as Harrigan says to Canterbury, come back to this line. Come back with me. There he is back on the halfway now. As Lyon uses Kalis. He's become a real workhorse, Kalis. One of those players you can't do without. In fact, very similar players, I suppose, he and Britt. Former big foundation for you. Always working. Kalis probably the more athletic these days, though. Martini.
Seems to me Canterbury believe, or the Bulldogs believe, that they can maybe hurt Parramatta on the fringe of the ruck. Hasn't been a lot of close one-out work by their big men. This penalty will help them in their cause.
A little push. He wants to get up.
Now stringing together a couple 2 and 3 wide to get on the fringe of the ruck.
And that's against Solomona. They're just giving the man trying to play the ball a little push as he tried to get up. Ray Vanesta will find the line.
Just on that fringe of the ruck statement there, Pete, you're right, because on this side of the field, it happened a couple of weeks ago too when Parramatta played at Parramatta Stadium. Both Lyon and Buettner have made 17 tackles each on this side of the field.
Price. Just outside the 20-metre line. Parramatta with a short run. And then Scott got a ball out the back. Braithen Astor is with it now. 7.5 minutes of the first half to go. Hughes away for Trindle. Trindle on for Price. Price out of a tackle. And that's the try line. Parramatta. Parramatta hanging on. Darren Smith. They got the numbers. Vangana. Nigel Vangana brings it back to 8-6. Parramatta leading, but Canterbury getting their first try.
And they got outside the defence of Parramatta. David Violecki out wide. The pass beat him as we freeze it there. You can see that's Violecki, and the man gets on the outside as play continues. The pass going to Vangana. Centre on centre. Nice leg drive. Only 3 metres to travel. The pass was a good one. Getting outside the man was the key, so close to the line.
On the back of 3 back-to-back penalties for the Bulldogs. Good field position for them. Only the second time they've been down here in the match. And Vangana is a very slippery player. Buy of the year for mine for this Bulldogs team. Great effort by him to beat Violecki. But the work was all done by the forwards before that, in particular Stephen Price. Big right foot step, and he beat a couple of would-be's. Parramatta had a lash. He's a good dummy half runner. He nearly got over himself. Look at this from Stephen Price. Nice right foot step. Got through Andrew Ryan, who did come again to get him. But those sort of runs are invaluable close to the line. They lift the rest of the players. So look at him go. I can do that.
He has got claims, hasn't he, Nigel Vangana? 13 tries this year, and he has been involved in plenty more for his outside men, especially El Masri. I think his defence has also been a feature. Probably gone a little bit unnoticed, but he's defended very, very well for the Bulldogs. They just seen him fit in very comfortably as El Masri hopes to even things up on the stroke of half-time.
So this year, we've had, what, 1.5 games of football, and if he gets this, they'll be still deadlocked at 28-28. But it's always seemingly been the case every time they come together, and of course there are exceptions, but there have been so many close encounters between these two wonderful clubs. Now El Masri, who knows this stadium better than the curator. He's 21 out, he's 2 in. The terraces behind him are full of blue and gold supporters. Hits it just away to the outside of the uprights. 8-6, Willie Mason. Plenty to smile about. Andrew on the sideline.
Big Willie's thrilled about Nigel Vangana getting his 50th try of his career. I tell you what, it was extra sweet for Nigel because his eyes have come up like big dinner plates when he's had Nathan Hindmarsh running towards him tonight. So to get one back, extra sweet. Interesting there as Hazem El Masri lined up that kick rather than later in the game, referee Bill Harrigan ruling time off for a shot at goal. He ruled some time out then as Hazem El Masri lined up the shot.
Half-time, 3 minutes away. It was probably a little bit premature in that assessment of 1.5 games played. But there's certainly not going to be much between them, is there? Darren Smith plays it 30 metres out from his own line. Stephen Price met by Taylor and Daniel Irvine. A couple of the little men making the tackle. Trindle. Now, there was an appeal for him being taken out. Harrigan had no part of it. Touch judge was on the spot. Moody now. 40-metre line, Dogs end. Played back for Irvine. This is Andrew Ryan with a fend to beat Parramatta the first time. 32 from the line. To the centre. Wagon for Taylor. Second man play. Butner. Now, Jamie Lyon outside his man. Kicks back to the middle. Donald's after it. Patton bats it over the dead ball line.
Good stuff there by the Eels. They got a chance after a very ineffective kick by Trindle. Gave the good field position. On that occasion, Talau rushed in to make a tackle. Gave him the overlap out wide. Lyon outside the winger. Had the option to pass back inside of Donald. There was cover coming over to cover Donald. So he went for the kick. And Patton just got there. The bounce didn't favour him. Had to really stretch to get that one.
And just, that doesn't matter. It might be going bad. Have a chat with Dave. Yeah. All right, hold him down, little pushes. 10 metres. All set.
Nathan Kalis is off the park. Daniel Wagon must be captain at the moment.
Change it.
So let's watch this play. Again, Bill Harrigan called timeout for the line dropout. Irvine, 30 metres out from the Dogs line. They use the short side. Solomona. 20-metre line. Irvine. Vella with a tenacious run. 10 metres out. Irvine again. Taylor again. Long for Butner. And then, Hindmarsh. Penalty Parramatta. He was playing the advantage.
I wanted you here.
Yeah, you got Darryl Trindle.
You looked straight at me and you didn't listen. Get on there.
Darryl Trindle and Willie Talau, the two men in this defensive lineup when they play the umbrella who make the decisions to go up quickly. In doing that, you do test the referee's patience at times. This time, Darryl Trindle has been penalised for getting up too quickly. Way offside, he's saying.
Watching this, there was a pass that I think went astray here. Couldn't possibly have been meant. That ball.
He's tried to open up for the second man, Ray. He's tried to sell the dummy with the first man going through.
I thought it was meant for Wagon. You're quite right. He's just laid it up there into the air for Hindmarsh. And it was great anticipation by that Dogs defender. Nathan was almost over. It would have been another 6.
Tough ball against Trindle. Gee, there's 20 metres between him and the man receiving the ball second pass.
Taylor from pretty much in front. And he gets it. There's another 2 points. It is 10-6 now. The Parramatta power. They just extend a little bit. And the halftime hooter must sound in the background before the restart of play. Although there could be a discrepancy with the amount of timeout that Bill Harrigan has called. It's just a chance that Ryan Smith has gone down to the bench. Could be a discrepancy between the timepieces operating across the board on this game. Our time has gone. And there's the Dogs. Down to Hodgson for Vella. Vella with a big run. And an equally big tackle from El Masri. Now the hooter in the background. Bialecki. that is half-time. So an enthralling struggle. 10-6 Parramatta.
10 points to 6.
One try apiece. Taylor's boot the difference, although he's had more opportunity than El Masri at the other end of the park. There's the Dogs try scorer Nigel Vangana. But at the break, Parramatta lead by 4 points. We'll be back with the second half action from Homebush in just a moment.
To 5, and even as the Bulldogs coach Steve Foach cop 11 tackles in a half, that's pretty good. The 5 by Parramatta, outstanding. And in those stats, outstanding work by Stephen Price for the Bulldogs. 15 tackles, 14 hit-ups, phenomenal work rate. Whilst for the Eels, Michael Buettner leads the tackle count with 18.
Time on. Second half underway. Referee Bill Harrigan. And the ball carrier first up, second half, is David Bialecki. Wagon leaves it behind. Now Harrigan drilling that he lost it forward. It won't please the Eels supporters. And I'm blown of an hour he came up with that ruling.
No, he didn't lose it forward at all. It went straight backwards. As soon as he left his hand, it went backwards all the way. So a bit of luck for the Doggies. They're only 20 metres out, maybe 30.
Nasta sweeping around, getting the reverse pass. Played out there by Talau. Hughes. Trindle. 25 out from the line. Feeney. Smith. Scott. Smith again. Colomada. Trindle. Anasta. Patton. Talau. Parramatta's defence sliding across. The ball is loose. Just lost it back. And he's going to put a scrum down with Parramatta getting the feed.
Bill Harrigan asked the far touch judge, was it a strip? Touchy said no, just lost. I think it had a bit of help to me, Brad.
Probably squares the ledger for the Wagon incident just a minute ago. Peter, I thought it got some help from Daryl Trindle. It's the only reason the ball, if it was propelled forward, was propelled forward. So things do even out. Solomona. Just inside his own 30-metre line. Irvine using Jamie Lyon. Ooh, don't argue from Talau. Sat the youngster from Wee War on the seat of his pants. Solomona. Here's a brick wall tackle from Willie Talau. This bounces favoured Parramatta, but the Dogs have got the ball. They call him Tricky Trindle, and somehow or other he came up with it. Shane Martini on his own 40-metre line.
I mentioned the same statistic last week at half-time in our Friday night match. Tremendous effort from Parramatta this year when they've led at half-time. Yet to lose a game. 16 times they've been in front at the break. 16 times they've gone on to win. So the Dogs hoping to put a dent in that. As Smith goes through. Got El Masri.
El Masri down the right touchline. Swerves in field. 10 metres out from the line. Long ball from Anasta. Taken high by Scott. Last tackle now for the Dogs. Hughes finds Trindle. And Anasta puts it over the line.
Well,
Bill Harrigan.
He'd have to have a look at it, wouldn't he? He was right on the job there, Bill Harrigan.
Why don't you do it?
Yeah, he's going to have a look at it. It's an interesting one. The Doggies, they're confident they scored a try.
They've got every right to. As the referee, Bill Harrigan, says, it was a mess to start with. Didn't look like being an effective once again from Daryl Trindle. almost like a pinball machine. The ball bounced around, and I don't think that there was a knock-on from the Bulldog side. Let's just have a look at it. It is the last tackle. A good break made down the right-hand side to set them up inside the 20. Ball goes to the left side to Daryl Trindle. Almost misses it as he tries to kick it. Takes it now. Looking to put the kick through. And he just touches it. Bounces off Ryan. Off the legs. Kicked on. That's play on. There's no Bulldog knock-on from Ryan. That's a try. Well, yeah, the only concern there is whether Braith Anasta was offside.
Well, he certainly wasn't offside on the Daryl Trindle kick, but there is another kick. I'm just wondering where he is in relation to the second time that it's kicked by the Dog.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's in front of it. Ray, I watched it closely on that occasion. He's not offside there. It comes off his knee on a second attempt. It's kicked from Patton there. And for mine, he was in front of the football. So it might be, I'd say, to be recalled.
Yes, and here it is on a wider shot.
Now, the man to watch is just on the left side of Daryl Trindle. Luke Patton, he definitely puts the boot in here and gets a touch. And Braith Anasta is over next to David Solomona.
Is he offside? On that wide angle, you'd have to say it's line ball. I'll tell you, on that angle, I'd give it a try.
Yeah, ref this evening is Chris Ward.
I don't think anybody's overly confident. I've just got a doubt that he was onside off the second kick. It's a try! The Dogs have got the try. Braith Anasta levels. 5 minutes into the second half.
Now, the kick from Luke Patton is about to come up. Coming in on the left-hand side as we see it there. That's Luke Patton kicking the football. That is Braith Anasta. Very, very difficult to judge. That's probably not a straight line either. I can understand why they came up with the try. It's not conclusive that he was in front of the kicker for mine.
But it all came from a very good break made down the right-hand side, and Darren Smith's done some wonderful work down the short side on the right-hand side tonight. Set up another break, which they've gained 30 metres through Hazem El-Masri. Braith Anasta's also had a fine game tonight. He's the man on the spot, just jogging along on the inside, looking for an opportunity, and it came after that kick.
So the Dogs, are they about to hit the lead? First time in the game, 10 points all. El-Masri is just off centre. Strikes it perfectly. The blue and whites rejoice. Ryan Smith's team is now behind for the first time. 12-10.
9:30 Saturday.
McDougall will go all the way.
As we bring you back to the 9 coverage, National 9 Network coverage on the wide world of sports of the top of the table clash. Parramatta 1 versus Canterbury 2. This is Scott, round 23 of the NRL Premiership, the Telstra Premiership. The Dogs are in front by 2. The Eels have made 5 changes. Canterbury have only made 2. Darren Smith again. Price. They're inside the 40. Charged down by Wagon on Anasta. Taken by Trindle. Tackled by Wagon. It's not a bad trick by the lock forward from Parramatta. Anasta put down inside the 30-metre line. Hughes. Scott. Leaving a mark on the game. Parramatta. Price. Listen to that chant in the background. Seemingly hasn't ended since they said, let's rumble. Hudson. Moody. Good tackle. Scott over the top of Price. Donald. They're right up in their face at the moment. Buoyed by that try. Nathan Hindmarsh. Refusing to go down. Taylor. Kalis. Wagon. Villa. Hughes coming in, making the tackle on Villa. Taylor. El Masri up his own 10. Put down on the 30 by David Violecki. Nigel Vangana. Feeney. Smith again. Price. Kalis and Hindmarsh making the tackle on the Parramatta 30-metre line. Anasta. It's a towering bomb. Put down by Trindle. And eventually it comes down with Scott Donald. Almighty leap by Trindle. Solomona offloading for Moody. Irvine. Kalis. He was still on the bench at half-time. Surprised that he's back there quite so soon. Irvine to the halfway line. 6 changes now made by Parramatta. Wagon, 12-10 Dogs, 49 minutes gone. Villa sweeping for Taylor. Second man back for Buettner. But the Dogs are right up there. Anasta making the tackle. Jamie Lyon hoping for the bounce to come his way.
Yeah, great tackle by Anasta, wasn't it, on Michael Buettner, his opponent, the veteran and the youngster. And the youngster reading the game so well. And that replacement break can only be good for here it is. He read it, got up and got him and banged him down. Can only be good for the Bulldogs, have fresher players heading into the last half an hour of the match.
You can see one of the fresh players coming back in Darren Britt. I believe that the Eels need Brad Drew out there fairly smartly as well. He's been out there since the 20th minute. He's the man that gets them going forward. Just lacking a touch in that department at the moment.
What the coaches say at half-time, Andrew?
Well, I can tell you that Brian Smith, he wanted a big first 15 minutes from his side, as he did last week, but as it was last week against the Dragons, they conceded the first try after half-time, so he won't be all that happy. He did want his side to work harder to prevent the offloads, as some big defence comes from the Bulldogs right on the Parramatta line. And I can tell you also, Ray, from Steve Folkes, pretty much his instructions were, let's just hang in there, build some pressure. We weren't at our absolute best in that first 40 minutes, but we came off at half-time only down by 4. Now they're 2 in front.
Buettner with a clean break. Gets the ball away. Hodgson is with him.
Flop. Already on the ground.
Trindle has been penalised.
He's called him for a flop. Basically saying you weren't needed in the tackle that had already been completed. Don't get involved. Buettner, some fancy stepping. Found Brett Hodgson, one of the best support players in the game. Put a nice move on Luke Patton. Here's the number 1. And then Darren Smith and Willie Talau come across in cover. There's the number 7 coming in. Not needed.
So Parramatta with the advantage of the penalty. Taylor. Nathan Hindmarsh having a relentless game for Parramatta, the number 11. And another penalty to Parramatta, lifting the leg in the tackle.
And Parramatta captain Nathan Kalish just says, sit steady down, settle down.
Yeah, I know, I've got to get it. Leg pull. Leg pull.
Well, it's just a lack of discipline by the Bulldogs. First of all, the flop by Trindle. On this occasion is a break made by Hindmarsh. And he's got the Jamie Feeney, who's having a fine match out there, by the way, just for holding one of the legs fraction too long. This will be a gift 2 points once again for Jason Taylor. Get it back to 12 all.
I think Nathan Kalish was a bit concerned that someone was going to run up and take a quick tap. He wanted the 2. He wanted to even things up. Craig Polamatta continues his running battle with the ref.
Big test for these Parramatta kids out there tonight. And normally this time, the last 14 weeks, they've been in front by 20 or 30. They've got a real battle on their hands and they're handling it well.
Highest point scorer in Premiership history. Taylor, 20 in from touch and 20 out to equal. Taylor raises the flags. They are all square at 12 all after 54 minutes of play.
Sunday, it doesn't get any better.
Back at the showground here at Homebush. And it's a high kick to Moody that sees the restart go to Vella. And Vella 8 metres in from touch on the western side. Moody. 6 for Parramatta, 4 for Canterbury. Interchanges. Violecki, 12-12. Daniel Irvine still there. Still Brian Smith keeps Brad Drew on the bench. And another penalty to Parramatta.
Get him up quick.
Harrigan's laying down the law to Darren Britt. Get off him quicker.
It wasn't long ago that Parramatta trailed in the penalty count 5-3. They now lead 6-5.
Vella hitting it up the middle to the 30-metre line. Drew is on. Taylor finding Ian Hindmarsh. 20-metre line just in front of them. Drew. Then Wagon back on the ground for Drew. Hodson on the far side. Now they come to Kalis. Kalis gets it inside the 10. Played back for Drew. Drew, a long ball, finding Butner. Butner kicks for Moody. A dive for the ball. They finish up out on the whatever track it is.
Yeah, it's a track. I thought, geez, quick hands might have been the go here. They had him for numbers, and a ball to Violecki, and another hands-on to the winger, and it's a try. It would have been a try for sure. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Makes it hard to talk sometimes. Oh, big hit there over the top. JT pulls one out.
Vangana. Hughes to the Parramatta 40-metre line. Polamatta down into the southwestern corner, and Hodson with some room to move off his own line. Beats 1, beats 2, and then is put down over there by Martini. 15 out from his line. Ian Hindmarsh. The track, by the way, would be the trotting track. I think they still have trots at the show. So that's what that would be. Donald plays it. Now Butner. Made a lovely break from this end of the park. Last time they were down here. Careless. Drew looking for Taylor. Taylor. Patton. Sliding across. Now he goes through. Tackle by Moody. 5 metres from halfway. Trindle. Hughes.
The game is wonderfully balanced, isn't it? Delicately poised. Maybe just a touch of individual brilliance, a flash from somebody. Don't blow this game apart.
Now they raid the short side. And Talau finding Martini. Immediately obliged to come away from that sideline. 20 metres out. Trindle. Back for Hughes. And Hughes just getting under a high shot. Parramatta decides to hit the blind side again. Trindle's kick down into the corner, and a maul of players go to ground with Donald coming up with it. Now Hodgson.
That's twice that Scott Donald has come up with big plays on his line, through the arms of Martini, into the arms of the other winger. Manages to stay in the field of play and avoid the line dropout.
So now they're outside the 20-metre line with Hindmarsh. 12 all. And almost 3/4 of the game gone. In opposition half, the Dogs have had the better of it in possession. Vella. That is the 30-metre line. And on the last tackle, it's left to David Bialecki, who kicks. It's not a bad... Oh, yes, it's found the line. Bounced just inside the line. Patton asked the question.
40-20.
40-20, it was a 30-20.
Yeah, but has it... Where is the touchy putting up his flag? Who is going to get the all-important feed?
Yeah, it's a Bulldog feed. Must have missed by centimetres. Even Luke Patton's pulling a face there. Oh, that was close. Savage bounce, wasn't it? In favour of the Bulldogs.
I think David Bialecki was more concerned about finding the line. Play would have had to go back down to the Parramatta 30-metre line. That would have been far more damaging than being denied the 40-20. Now they lose the ball. And the Dogs have done some indisciplined things here in the second half, or ill-disciplined. Now Parramatta gets a penalty. Parramatta was in the play the ball and didn't seem as though he was going to move out of it.
This is a really harsh penalty. Parramatta's obviously crook to all and sundry at the ground. Us in the box, he's crook. He can't move. He's almost unconscious there. He's copped a bad knock. You can't penalise him for that.
Comes out of that impact with Ian Hindmarsh, the worse for wear.
Me, then I'll take Phil. I know you weren't then, but you still don't speak to me like that. I'm not talking to you like that, all right? Cool it. Okay. All right.
I mean, the body contact game like this, it's got to be a little bit of give and take from the referee.
Now Darren Britt comes in to say that when he lost the football, it was raked out. So plenty of conversing with the referee this evening. Not always just necessarily the captains. Now it's the responsibility. No, he's just lost that. With Craig Parramatta, it's the responsibility of the man making the tackle to get out of the play the ball area. But gee, it is very tough when you know that the man is hurt and he doesn't make that effort. The referee is basically saying, Craig, you've tried to milk a penalty. You've tried to slow the play the ball down.
30 metres out for Taylor. 22 metres in from touch. This to put Parramatta back in the lead by 2. On its way, it is perfectly online. The Parramatta fans rejoice. Ryan Smith's team now 2 in front. Andrew.
Well, Ray, I'm sure that last penalty in particular will have Bulldogs coach Steve Folkes simmering. If you think back to that round 10 clash against the Eels, they were caned in the penalties that night 10-3 by Tim Mander, and Steve Folkes was subsequently fined $10,000 for some criticism after the match. Just wonder what he'll say after tonight if they go down by a couple of penalty goals from Jason Taylor.
Nathan Kalis now. Michael Vella. David Violecki. Mind you, the other side of that debate that you're having is, should the attacking side be penalised for something that they didn't create, they didn't cause? Should their fortunes be governed by somebody else's misfortune? So there is another side of that argument. And Kalis is tackled 7 metres from halfway. Taylor's kick, bouncing back to Michael Butner, but Canterbury's El Masri is there in time and gives a penalty, Parramatta. David Violecki. Well, you know what Harrigan's on about. He's been savage on lying on players in the tackle, and now he's dispensing the same treatment to the other side. It has to be very hard of hearing or hard pressed sight-wise not to know what Harrigan's on about tonight. Halfway line. Darren Britt. (14-12), Parramatta leading with about 16 to go. Anasta back for Patton. Patton across for Trindle. That came off a Parramatta player who didn't play at the ball. Yes, he did. Referee Harrigan now restarting the tackle count. And they've brought Brent Sherwin into the game. He played it on the 30-metre line. Glenn Hughes. 18 metres away. Trindle. Adam Peake is on in jumper number 18. Trindle again at the 10-metre line. Darren Smith pulled down by Daniel Wagon. There's the try line. Trindle shaped a kick, held it back. Anasta, the ball goes to ground. And Harrigan, I think, will say...
Paraball.
No, I thought he was going to say Canterbury ball. But it's Parramatta with Hindmarsh. Now Hodgson.
Braith Anasta trying to keep the football alive here. They were looking dangerous. Throws the pass back. In a contest, Sherwin and Hindmarsh. Second rower comes up trumps.
Well, Parramatta spreading it now to David Violecki. Playing it just beyond his own 40-metre line for Daniel Wagon. Involved in a lot of important issues tonight, Daniel Wagon. Here's Michael Vella. Canterbury coming up with it. Patton.
Yeah, that won't please Brian Smith. Threw the pass straight to Glenn Hughes. Trying to find Hodgson. Too many bodies there.
The Dogs now through their captain. Now to Talau. 14-12, Parramatta leading with 14 and a half to go. Hughes. Nasta's kick. Again, a towering boot. Hodgson was turned around, but he came back with it beautifully. Beats another. And is brought down 30 metres away, losing the ball. One-on-one.
Yeah, great strip there. I think it's Trindle who got him.
So Anasta through Sherwin. Willie Talau. That's the 20-metre line. Sherwood. Reardon. Put down by Kalis. The Dogs asking the question now. Cutting out Darren Smith, finding Luke Patton. Pulled down by Michael Buettner. 9 metres out. Centre of the ground for Britt. Now for Reardon. Flicks it out the back. It's gotten away for the Dogs to kick. And Martini gets it over the line. Martini scores. I think Glenn Hughes it was with a lovely kick.
And that now makes 3 tries to 1. The Bulldogs, they only lead by 2. Brett Hodgson, a wonderful tackle. I think he actually knocks on here in the tackle of Darryl Trindle as he's taken to the ground. Well, it was a one-on-one strip, and that was fine. Great work from the halfback. Then they keep the ball alive, the Bulldogs again. A split-second decision made out wide. Keeping the ball alive, flicking it. They had an overlap here. As we freeze it there, you can see this man. He's got to weigh up whether to go through the hands or to take advantage of the space over here. He takes advantage by putting the kick up. Play continues. It's got to be pinpoint from Glenn Hughes. It is. Martini had some work to do. Would have got a penalty anyway for being tackled in mid-air. He's gone better than that. He's got the ball over the line for a try.
Yeah, wonderful stuff by the winger there. Good thinking by Hughes. He's been around a while. He copped one after he kicked it. Lovely put down. He knew he had to get it down as soon as possible, or else he would have been pushed out over the sideline. And he did. He's had a good game, actually, the winger. He's tackled really well, and he's been there on the spot to score that try.
He's had a great couple of weeks, Paul. He's really been strong for them. Very robust player. As I say, that's the 3rd try, and let's not forget that Parramatta's sole try in the 7th minute. That's a long time ago.
I tell you, one of the heroes of this try was Reardon. He got the ball out originally in heavy traffic. It was peak out, and he got it out. Magic kick by Hughes. Now, talking of magic, he's got the team 2 in front. That's what he's confronted with. The Archers, the Sinclair stand, behind the uprights. Part of the accommodation here. Hazem El Masri to extend the lead to 4. From the sideline, no. Flagged away. 2 points in it as we break.
Tonight's Stock Market Report brought to you.
Brett Hodgson takes us into the next sequence. And Darren Britt rolls it out almost to the 20-metre line. The main body of the blue and white army behind that line, pushing him every metre of the way. That is Adam Peake. His dad played for the Dogs in the late 70s, early 80s.
I would imagine, Ray, that Steve Folkes has drummed into his side what happened in round 1 at Parramatta Stadium. They had a big lead, the Dogs. They saw the Eels come from a long way back to snatch a late draw. I hate to think the same thing could happen tonight, leading with 10 to go as kick charge down, good field position now with Nathan Kalis. First tackle, keeping it alive, 40 out to Wagon.
Wagon still alive. That is Robinson. Jumper number 20. 40-metre line. Through to Andrew Ryan in jumper number 15. Back for David Vailecki. Up and inside the 30. A short ball back then to Andrew Ryan and provided for David Vailecki. Parramatta, they challenge the 10-metre line with Brad Drew. Long ball finding Buettner. Buettner finding Robinson. Fifth tackle. Newton. Drew kicking for Moody. Here comes the jump. El Masri's lost it behind him, and Trindle is there. Like a ruck rover combination. Patton. El Masri right up above them. Trindle staying on the ground, looking for the dregs. Darren Britt. 9 to go. Hughes. He's had a fine game. Fifth tackle. They need a good clearing kick from Anasta, and that he provides. Hodgson splicing through. Every time he touches the ball, he seems to cut through them. Wagon again. Andrew.
In call, Ray, from Brian Smith to take Jason Taylor off for this last 10 minutes, so his sharpshooters on the bench. Again, we go back to round 10. Brett Hodgson missed a sideline conversion that would have won his side the match a minute from full time. It may happen again tonight.
Talking of Hodgson, he takes a 25 out. Now Drew, then Butner. Butner kicks Donald. It's a race for the ball. I don't know. Do you? Do you at home know?
I don't think Scott Donald is too confident, although he's getting some congratulations from his teammates. It's going to be a photo finish, obviously, but I just get the impression that the winger doesn't believe that he's put his tide in front.
I think he's saying, I'm not sure, boys. Lovely kick, wasn't it, from Butner? Left footer. He's onside. Patton, has he got the speed to hold out Donald? Or did Donald ground it first? Here we go, Patton versus Donald. Looks like
Nice benefit of the doubt for mine.
Donald for mine.
Well, we saw a similar incident. I can't remember now. I know when Stuart Kelly was playing for Parramatta, and I still couldn't believe they could give a try. And it was a similar situation, and it went in favour of the attacking team. Now, we've actually had a rule brought in, which I haven't seen administered this year, the benefit of the doubt. If it is, this looks like one of those occasions.
I don't think there's any way that Luke Patton has put downward pressure on it, and I don't know that Donald has either. I think Donald has got a better chance of getting downward pressure on it than Luke Patton. Whether he's grounded it correctly, I don't know. But Patton looks like his would have been, well, I was going to say sideways pressure. There are fingertips there.
Has he grounded it, or has he knocked it forward?
This may be deemed a simultaneous grounding, and if it is, the rule book then gives it to the attacking team. That is definitely there and has been for years. If in fact there's a simultaneous grounding, they go with the attacking side. Wait for it. 2 points the margin. At the moment, Parramatta's got a try. Parramatta's been given a try. It is 18-16, and Taylor's not there.
And again, Brad Drew was the catalyst out of dummy half. Good play the ball, he committed for Anasta. Michael Butner, as we saw Glenn Hughes do at the other end of the field, summed up the situation, felt that the kick was the right option. Patton did well, he had a lot of ground to make up, but he's up against the quickest man on the field. And from the reaction of both the number one and the number two, you had to realise how close this was. Neither of them knew whether it was a try or whether Patton had saved the situation.
He's been a real star for the Eels the last 4 or 5 weeks, in particular Brad Drew. He's done it again tonight. The bench loves it. They think there's been a try scored, and indeed there has. Lovely work from Butner. Good chasing from Donald. He muffed one earlier, made up for it there. He got that one.
comment from the sideline from Andrew.
Well, I can just tell you a funny incident when we were watching that replay back. I can also tell you Jason Taylor's just run back on, but he's not eligible to take the shot at goal. But when we went to the freeze frame the first time, the entire crowd went silent, as if they were also on slow motion. They went silent to try and to determine if the try went up. It's a good thing too, Ray. I've got to give a rap to the Bulldogs fans at the northern end. There's been no drama tonight so far, and when that decision went against them tonight, all well behaved.
7.5 minutes to go. Brett Hodgson, one of the Parramatta stars tonight. He's got that equation in front of him. The T-bar at the 20. Sterling's not watching. It's a nightmare for the former 7.
It's great stuff. This is the way rugby league should be every week. Kind of rivalry, these kind of close finishes. Opportunity for Brett Hodgson. Side to try in front.
There she goes. Never online. 2-point ball game again. Andrew.
I'll just say one more thing. I think now is the time for a young prince in rugby league, Braith Anasta, to stand up. I'm sure that the Bulldogs fans want it. He is the key man, I think, going into this final 6.5 minutes. Now, Bill Harrigan just came over to the sideline there to rule that he ruled time off for 20 seconds during that kick, and the clock hadn't stopped, according to Bill. So we've had a few problems with the timekeeper tonight.
So, Parramatta now leading by 2. It has fluctuated. The Dogs, then the Eels, then the Eels, then the Dogs. Now it's the Eels. 31-metre line with Drew. I've got no doubts now that Chris Ward, the video referee, ruled that both teams forced that ball at the same time. Solomona, who has seen little game time. Drew kicks back to the centre. Patton.
The instruction from Brian Smith to David Solomona would have been, do not throw the pass unless it is definitely on. It is not a situation to take a chance with our nose in front. Now under 6 on the clock as Anasta tries to initiate something wide for Hughes, takes it outside 40.
Chilau, a dummy half run, crabbing. Robinson's got him together with Ryan. They look a little bit alike, actually, Ryan and Robinson from a long way away. Now Vangana and El Masri combine. And they're on the halfway line, the Dogs. 5.5 to go, and they're trailing by 2. Patton goes down the right side. El Masri, he had no ground to work in. He tried to get a kick on it. It's gone out on the full. Parramatta will come up with the advantage.
Yeah, really badly organised here. Had a chance to put a kick in on 3 different occasions. And instead of rucking it out from their own line, the Eels are inside the Bulldogs' half. Bulldogs still got plenty of changes up their sleeve.
Kalis. Solomona. Solomona, the coach has palpitations. Mission accomplished so far. Taylor. And Drew waits, uses blind side. Ryan, 11 metres out, 5 gone. Drew, Taylor, across the park, looking for Donald. Donald's with it, but so is Martini. And Shane continues to have a tremendous game. Luke Patton pirouetting out to the 20. El Masri.
Good quick play the balls from the Bulldogs, hoping for a penalty. They'd love to get a piggyback down the other end and have a full set of 6. The opponent's half, that's 3 gone now with Britt tackled 38 from his own line. Price now.
Through from Anasta. On to Hughes. And Hughes running out of runners. Plays it on the halfway line on 5. Anasta for himself. And it comes down for Donald. Donald the winger on the far side, saving for Parramatta.
And the Bulldogs claiming Anasta was taken out. He was left on the deck. Harrigan, though, saw it. Did Buettner move in and shoulder him out of the way?
Well, he certainly stuck the butt out. Parramatta with a big run down the right side from Buettner. Now it's been kicked by Talau, picked up by Ryan, and he will put a scrum down.
Well, a tremendous pass from Brad Drew onto Michael Buettner, but a shocking pass here. He almost had too much time. Looking to get an inside man, no chance for Jamie Lyon to catch that. And unfortunately for Parramatta, it was early in the tackle count. 2.5 left on the clock. The Bulldogs need to travel 70 metres.
Vangana, Anasta. Moody makes a grassing tackle. The crowd appealing again for a penalty. Price back on the Dogs' 40-metre line. 2 minutes to go. Terrible pass from Sherwin. And Hughes can do little more than take the tackle. Darren Britt got a ball back on the inside. Scooped up by Trindle. Given away for Anasta. Anasta a one-hander away. Bialecki's away. Bialecki's on his way. Vangana chases, but Bialecki seals the game. Parramatta have won it. Bialecki under the upright. 22-16.
About to be 24-16, but that's academic now. That wraps the game up, and you can't really blame the Bulldogs here. Keeping the football alive. They were running out of time. They had to come up with something special. Firstly, Britt got the pass away. Then Braith Anasta realised that it pretty much had to happen in this set of 6, and David Bialecki, who the crowd were calling for to be penalised for holding down the tackle only moments ago, travels 50 metres to wrap up this top-of-the-table clash.
Yeah, you can't blame Anasta. He's looking for support. There's only a minute and a half to go. Just a wayward pass. Bialecki on the job, on the spot. He's got the speed. I thought Vangana might have got him, but it wasn't to be. And Bialecki wraps it up. It's been a tremendous game of rugby league. And if this is a preview of what we're expecting or will see in the semi-finals, bring them on. Two of the great clubs in the modern day era have produced a great game here tonight at the showground.
So, under a minute remaining, the Parramatta bench congratulating one another after Bialecki's try. And now the master will convert. The final scoreline, Parramatta 24, the Bulldogs 16. There are just 30 seconds remaining. I'm just wondering about that 20 seconds that Bill Harrigan mentioned about 10 minutes ago, whether in fact the official timekeeper has caught up. The Dogs have provided stern opposition and a significant warning to Parramatta that this competition is a long, long way from over.
And I think a significant warning to all the other teams that are going to be there come quarter-final time. Pretty sure the siren has gone.
Well, it has now. Bill Harrigan calls a halt to what has been a wonderful contest. Brian Smith heading down to welcome the troops. The double pump from Brian Smith. He's obviously very, very happy with this victory. Both coaches, the utmost respect for both units. 24 points to 16. Parramatta winning the night. But this has been just the second chapter in a series of matches between them, which could see them meet again, I suppose, another couple of times, maybe 3 times. Who knows? Before they come round to make the grand final that they both dream of making. 24-16. It was Parramatta power tonight. But the Dogs, they needn't hang their heads because they were magnificent. Peter will come back and wrap this match up for you. And Andrew will have the McDonald's $1,000 man of the match for you. That's on the other side of this break from the showgrounds at Homebush.
He's a fugitive.
After one of the biggest build-ups of the year, a game that has lived up to expectations with Parramatta defeating the Bulldogs 24-16. 3 tries apiece with Nathan Hindmarsh, Donald and Violecki crossing. Jason Taylor 6 from 6. Brett Hodgson missed with a sideline conversion. While for the home side, Bunganar, Anasta and Martini got 4-pointers. El Masri kicked 2 from 4. Our man of the match this evening after a particularly rugged performance is with Andrew Voss.
Peter, the McDonald's $1,000 man of the match tonight. Devastating in attack, 29 tackles in defence. Nathan Hindmarsh, the Parramatta second rower. A real taste of finals football tonight.
Yes, mate. I think this was set the benchmark. I think it was a very tough game. We had to play the full 80. I think it's the first time we had to do it in a while. So it was a good test for us, and it'll be, we'll probably meet them again in the semi, so just have to wait and see then. And the whole build-up was sort of a finals taste with it, going away to the Gold Coast, getting in camp for the week? Yeah, it was good to get away to the Gold Coast, a bit of change of scenery, so nice and hot up there too, mate. It's probably a little bit tough to ask you straight after full time here, but how does that match tonight rate against the other leading contenders you've played this year, sides like Brisbane, like Newcastle? I'd say it's been the toughest, definitely. As I said before, it's probably one of the games we've had to play the full 80 minutes compared to, I think, a few of the games we've clocked off in the last 20, last 10, so it was a good test for us, yeah. All right, and one last, mate, must feel like a long time ago in this match, the 7th minute, the runaway try for you. How are you feeling about 20 metres out? Knackered, mate. Absolutely stuffed. But you got there. You got $1,000 to celebrate tonight's victory. 5 points clear at the top of the table. Well done, Nathan. Thank you. I'd like to thank Channel 9 and McDonald's.